about our services, click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome in to WTIM, your information station. We are in the midst of the WTIM morning show hours here on WTIM. I'm Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM morning show. Thanks so much to the sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We have the folks from the Christian County Genealogical Society in studio with us now. We have Vice President Vonna Crowder and Librarian Lori Four. Thanks so much for coming in today, guys.
Hi, thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Let's jump right into it here. Generally, it's been a while since we talked to our genealogical folks here. How's everything been over at the society?
Everything's wonderful.
Really great to hear. Great to hear. You guys were recently treated to some new digs over there in terms of the library. What do we need to know about this?
Well, we have a couple new volunteers
Cool.
that are now our directors, and everybody that's new always has a new perception on how to do things. And one of them has ran and taken a program of all of our extra books and magazines and everything else that we have. And he has sold them on a marketplace and made us some extra money.
Nice.
And then with that extra money, we redid all our library and put in all new shelves.
Unbelievable.
It's been really wonderful.
Oh, it looks great.
This is something you guys have been talking about. You needed more storage.
Correct.
In that library.
Correct.
So many books, so much you guys have compiled
Correct.
over the years. And what are we talking about there? And what kind of texts are in this vast library?
Well, we have a lot of everything, and there's a lot of things that you can't get online that you can't get on things like Ancestry and Family Search. We have some of the things that you can't get online would be like our family histories, things that people have donated, pet family research, some of the old stuff that we can't get. We have a map of Old Walnut Hill Cemetery.
Wow.
That somebody donated. They went out and actually made a map of that cemetery. So it's really cool because no one else has that.
No.
There's a cemetery that is on Commonwealth ground that was called Finley Cemetery. And now you can't get to it because Commonwealth owns it, the access rights to it. But we have a map of where they went and pulled up the tombstones. The state did. Pulled up the tombstones, added more dirt, and then put the tombstones back. So it's all on a map of what they've done. So it didn't flood anymore.
Very, very interesting there. Finley. It was called Finley, and it was in
Finley
what city?
Cemetery. It's not a city. It's out in the country.
It's out in the country.
Back behind where Commonwealth is.
Interesting. I want to get into even more of that a little bit later because you hear these stories, and there's a city called Finley, and how does all this line up? But you want to keep going there, Lori, on some of those items?
Sure. So some of the things that we've added recently, we've added more Mount Auburn yearbooks.
Wow, cool.
We're always adding things to the library. Our obituary section is continually being added to. That's an ongoing project. We have miscellaneous histories, different stories and things that come in. A couple of the new interesting things that have come in are some, I don't know what you would call them. They are the Masons. They're like a ledger.
Mason records.
They're records. They're like a ledger, and it has like the membership records.
Okay.
So, and they're from the 1870s.
Whoa, oh my goodness, guys, 1870s. We're talking about things so long ago. And every time you name a new piece, a new piece of text or an item, I think about it as a puzzle piece. I feel like you guys are trying to put together a clear picture of the past here.
Of
you guys
the
find
whole
yourself,
community.
Yeah, you guys
It
find
is.
yourself doing that?
And
That's our goal.
Yeah.
The whole
exactly.
purpose of the society was to try to gather all the information specifically for Christian
Sure.
County, so it didn't get lost.
Right. And I hear things like yearbooks. I mean, that's a great look into the past right there. You can learn a whole lot from a yearbook. I mean, there's oftentimes, of course, pictures and names in there, but also some of the activities they were doing. You can get a lay of the landscape, weird things. You ever see anything?
For
come out of those?
example, Mount Auburn doesn't even have a school there anymore.
Right.
So the Mount Auburn yearbooks are defunct because there is no Mount Auburn school.
Wow.
Right.
Even more rare to find it now.
Yeah.
There's just
Right.
They were, I think, Eagles. Was they Mount Auburn Eagles? I want to say.
Well, Mount Auburn Eagles was the grade school. Maybe it was. Maybe the high
I don't
school
know.
was the Eagles. I'm not sure if
I
the
don't
Eagles was
remember.
the high
Sure.
school or not, but
So we got new shelves in the library. We got so much stuff to look over here. If people out in the community want to come venture out and see this type of thing, can they do that?
yeah. On Saturdays, we have a librarian there. From April 1st through December, up to December 1st. The library is open
Cool.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 to 3, but we only have a librarian there on Saturday from 10 to 3.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, we
Wow.
need more volunteers. So
Yes.
we have a volunteer there every single Saturday, but the whole building is the historical societies. So they have one on staff, but we don't necessarily have anybody in the library, but they can still come in and look in the library
Right.
Okay.
on
Awesome.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
But they just don't have a librarian there or someone
help
there
them.
from the Genealogy Society to come in and help them search.
Awesome. Okay, no problem there. Let's talk some volunteers then, because volunteering, you could take over some roles there as librarian. But what other type of projects are to be had for a volunteer that might want to walk in? It could be a lot.
Boy, this is a
we
lot.
have a lot of items that still need cataloged. We
Okay.
don't even have them cataloged. Like every time somebody donates something,
Yeah.
Right.
and Lori, as the librarian, is in charge of everything else, and so her finding the time to catalog all that is, difficult.
Yeah.
As a volunteer, we're all volunteers. It's not like we get paid to be out there.
Right.
So
Such a variety of things, so obituaries,
Yes.
yearbooks, and even the
Yes.
physical items, they all have their own
Yes.
separate area.
speaking of
Yes.
obituaries, we have like 2 funeral homes in the surrounding areas, and we have all their funeral home records.
All of them.
And
That's
so,
crazy.
yeah, so it would say how much they paid for their funeral and what songs and some of them and who was the pallbearers. Yeah,
Things like that give such
Yeah.
an interesting.
you're
look
not going
into
to
the
find that on
time period.
Ancestry or Family Search.
Absolutely not. The songs that were played on that
Correct.
day. I mean, that's such a
Yeah.
cool look
For
inside
every
that
single
day.
person in that
Very-
funeral home.
Very cool. Do you guys has anything been I'm afraid to ask. Is anything, because there's so much information, computerized files? If a person does come in saying, "Hey, this is my last name. I want to know everything." Do you guys have something?
Well,
for that?
here's what I've started to do, and it's a project that's never going to end. I have started an all names index. So as I start to log this information in, I've started an Excel spreadsheet. So I put in last name, date, last name, first name, date, and where it's located in the library.
Okay.
That's about all that gets on that spreadsheet. So it's not complete. It'll probably never be complete as long as I'm alive. But it started.
Sure, you're going at it the right way there with the Excel sheet, though. I wish you the best of luck on that project.
And we're moving items around in the library because we've gained so much space. So,
Sure.
I mean, we know it's there on the all name index, but sometimes it's a little difficult for us to find it lately.
Yeah.
But we're getting there.
That's the next cells in the Excel spreadsheet right there. It's where it's at in the
Yeah.
building. Okay.
Well, we have to label our shelves a little more
Right,
because we've
okay.
moved stuff around
Yeah.
so much.
Okay. Awesome.
It was a collection of different bookcases, and now we have all shelves, and it just all matches
Awesome.
completely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's streamlined and it looks
Yeah,
really nice.
it looks really
Glad
nice.
to hear this has really all come together. Talk about the Christian County Genealogical Society with Vice President Vonda Crowder and Lori Ford. She's the librarian. It's been great to have both of them in the studio so far. We talked some volunteers. You talked volunteering hours. Do you guys give any type of service credit hours to high school students that maybe wanted to get out there?
We would if there
Yeah,
are
we
some.
could. That would
Yeah,
be great.
I think the Historical Society has in the past. So I don't know
we
that
could
we
do
ever
that.
have, but
Could
I
be a
mean,
cool
we don't have a
opportunity.
problem with doing it.
Oh, yeah, it could be a cool thing
Yeah,
for
it could be a
high
cool
schooler to
project.
get out there and
That
Could
would
be a
be
wonderful
great.
project. Yeah.
Okay, we found out a new idea here on WTI Morning Show. So
Thank you.
There's some more volunteers out there for you guys, and some credit hours. Everybody wins there. That's really awesome there. Okay, so we can move on just a little bit here. And when we speak to you guys, I think of you guys as the detectives in town. You guys can really put things together. And when we reach back 150 years, 200 years, what would you call that silver bullet piece of evidence there? What is one of the best things that comes across your desk for the Genealogical Society when you're talking documents about latent history, early history?
anything.
Yes,
Let's take
anything. I mean,
Anything.
yeah.
I mean, it could be anything that you're missing.
Sure.
It could be that one piece of evidence that you're missing in your family history.
Yeah.
right now I'm researching for our cemetery walk that's
Okay.
coming up. And of course, I have to do the research on the people that we are portraying in the cemetery walk. And you would be surprised the stuff that I find out there. I mean, that I didn't know was there.
Sure.
So
Can you think of any examples that struck you?
I was looking for information on Henry Mundink,
Okay.
who is one of the people we're going to portray. And I found an article of his brothers that they did a whole history on him. And so he said exactly where they were born in Germany, when he came here, how he came. They came up the river from New Orleans, up the Mississippi. I'm like, the stuff that you learn is amazing. I learned that they were Lutheran because I wasn't sure if they were. So it just kind of gives you a view into their life back then before there was a town. That was before Palmer.
Really, just really interesting to be able to look back and just build that picture of what life looked like and really give people the information that they've been looking for, or maybe that they didn't know was even out there. And then now they've been rejoined with that really cool information. We're speaking with the Christian County Genealogical Society today, Vice President Vonna Crowder and Librarian Lori Ford. We're taking ourselves a quick timeout. When we come back, we will have more from them. I'm Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Join me, Kirby Kasner, every Monday morning from 8:40 till 10 a.m. on the new WTIM Morning Show, live from the lobby of People's Bank and Trust in Pana. Tune in on all of WTIM's platforms for the new WTIM Morning Show from Pana, Mondays from 8:40 till 10 a.m.
Brought to you by our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, your Pana Save-A-Lot, Whiskey Bill Saloon and Liquor Emporium, the City of Pana, and Locked and Loaded Limited.
It's National Nurses Week, and at Memorial Health, we are so thankful for our great nursing teams. From our hospitals to our memorial care facilities and beyond, we honor the amazing work nurses do every day. Thank you for making our entire organization a place of healing and comfort for patients. Want to join our team? Learn more at jobs.memorial.health. Memorial Health. Great teams, great things. Memorial is an equal opportunity employer.
Spring is in full swing and summer's right around the corner. Now's the time to call Southern Ledge Pools and Patios in Taylorville to schedule your pool opening and pool maintenance appointment. Email, call, or text today. Times are filling up fast. Don't have a pool and need a summer hangout? Reach out to us now for a free estimate. Get ready to entertain your outdoor guests with barbecue spices, seasonings, and sauces. Available at Southern Ledge Pools and Patios. Shop in store and online. Southern Ledge Pools and Patios, 306 East Main Cross in Taylorville. Your outdoor fun creator.
Shop local first.
Think about what a huge impact local shopping has on our local economy when our money stays at home versus shopping via the internet or with the big box stores. Your dollars get turned over several times, benefiting our communities. The Miller Media Group and these local businesses encourage you to shop local first. Davis Family McDonald's, located in Taylorville, Pana, Shelbyville. I'm loving it. These local businesses and the Miller Media Group ask you to shop local first.
Shop local first. All across the area, shop here first.
Computer Techniques, also known as CTI, is bringing fiber internet to local homes and businesses. For lag-free internet with speeds up to 1 gig, find out more by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Cousin Bill here from Illinois Paving. Hey, Christian County and surrounding area. Let us do your paving job, whether large or small, this year. Find out how we can do your paving project by clicking on the icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
And welcome back to WTIM, your information station. We are in the midst of the WTIM morning show with the Christian County Genealogical Society. Thanks so much to the sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We have Vice President Vonna Crowder and Librarian Lori Ford in studio with us now. We've had so much conversation about the detective work they do throughout Christian County and their new operations with the library. We talked in the past about this library and how it was the only sticking point. You guys needed some more space, but really feels like it has come together. And that's are you guys comfortable saying that?
We added so much more shelving, and
We did.
we expanded our family history section. We moved the DAR section. So we still have shelves that are empty. So that's great. We have a lot to keep moving, but we'll get there and get organized.
And when we talked last time, that was not the case. You guys were
No, it wasn't.
very behind on shelves.
Correct.
And if that was I was thinking to myself, if that's the issue you guys are running into, the shelves will come. Usually it's getting the items of importance. You guys have a surplus of those. So now it's just.
Well, it was all about money
Yeah,
too.
okay,
You
yeah.
know, it costs money to have shelving.
It does, yes.
And so, you know, we had a volunteer that's sold the books. So then we had extra money, and we have another director that helped use his CAD and mapped it all out, and we got all our shelving up, and it just looks like a real library now. It just looks fantastic.
Do you want to talk at all about the new director? Seems like he's been bringing some great things to the
Well, we have
site.
several, but every year we have an annual election.
Cool.
So the directors, one director is there for 3 years, one director is there for 2 years, and the other director is there for 1 year. So they just, if they're a 3-year one, they just rotate until they're done at that last year of service, and then we bring in another one, or sometimes we bring in the same one.
Interesting.
But
Is there a reason behind this tier 3-year, 2-year, 1 year for directors?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Oh, yeah, it's interesting. I feel like it's
well
cool to
because
have, yeah.
I mean, you start at 3 years,
Yeah.
and so you know you're going to serve for 3 years. Sometimes you might not be able to serve that 3 years, so you know we could switch you down to a 1 year and then switch the 1 year up to a 3 year. We're so easy, it doesn't matter. We're always searching for volunteers,
Sure.
so any new blood is great.
Absolutely, yeah. And when you're thinking about volunteering or membership with the Christian
Yes.
County Genealogical Society,
Yes.
you're not thinking too much commitment there.
No.
You're
No.
not gonna be ringing your phone every single day.
No, we
No.
don't.
do
Oh,
what you
no,
can.
no.
You do what you can.
I mean, you might want to work at home, so we have stuff that you could index, you can type,
Exactly.
you can index, you can
I have plenty of
sort
that.
through photos, you could work on an Excel spreadsheet, you could redo some of our cemetery books.
Cool. Tons of work to be done, and it's an interesting topic, so it can be fun to really get into here. Let's switch gears just a little bit in our last few minutes of the WTIM morning show. Let's talk a little bit about this cemetery walk. It's a big one for you guys.
Yes, we have an annual one. We haven't had it for the past couple of years because of COVID. So our cemetery walk is going to be May 19th. It's on a Sunday as usual, and it's going to be at Harper's Ferry Cemetery. And if you don't know where Harper's Ferry is, which I know you don't, it is right outside of Palmer.
Okay.
And sometimes it's called Palmer Cemetery
Okay,
sometimes, but it really was called Harper's Ferry Cemetery.
Okay.
And Harper's Ferry was there before Palmer.
Okay, really? It was there before
Yes.
the city of Palmer?
It was the crossing point of the mail route from, I want to say, Edwardsville to Decatur, I believe.
Wow. Okay.
So they crossed right there.
Interesting. I was going to ask what cities were.
Yeah,
were
there
going
wasn't
into
any
that.
cities there. There was Harper's Ferry.
Okay, it was just Harper's Ferry.
I think it had a blacksmith shop, a store, and they stopped there. The Pony Express stopped there to change their horses.
Oh my goodness.
So,
what year? What year are we talking about here?
oh,
Top of
I
your
don't
head.
know, 1800s
Early, because
and early 1900s.
18.
Yeah, because one of the guys that was named Harper, that he died in 1890. So
Okay.
it would have been 1800s,
Right. Yeah. Early 1800s there. Kind of get a little picture into the time
Yeah.
frame.
late 1800s.
Wow. So
Yeah.
a cemetery walk is going to be happening on Sunday, May 19th at Harper's Ferry Cemetery. This is a big one. You guys try to do a different cemetery every time you do a walk.
Yes,
And what is the importance of, what do you guys end up doing at these cemeteries?
you learn the history of that area.
Okay.
So one of them is going to be Henry Mundink. I have trouble saying that
Sure.
so much. And Ron Spears will be him. And if anybody has seen him at cemetery walks, he's just fantastic. He's a retired judge.
Okay.
And he's just wonderful. He just runs with it.
Okay.
And then we were going to, at that cemetery, which I don't think a lot of people know, there is a Confederate soldier buried there
Really? Unbelievable.
who was at Harper's Ferry, Virginia, and now is buried at Harper's Ferry Cemetery.
Huh.
How ironic.
Weird how that works.
I know,
out.
isn't that ironic? And that is John Ellis, and he is going to be portrayed by Dennis Flanagan. And then there's several Union soldiers there, but one of the Union soldiers that we picked is Clinton DeWitt Taylor.
Okay.
And Ray Bates from the Historical Society is going to portray him. And then there is a really interesting woman. When Palmer came into being, they actually had an opera house, which a lot of people don't know that, a hotel and an opera house.
Wow.
And there was a woman called Beulah Cottrell, and there were a group of women that got together and formed a club called Jotes.
Okay.
None of us know exactly what Jotes stands for, There has been several assumptions, but we don't know, and they all went to their grave without saying what Jote stood for. However, they actually performed. They did a play and performed at the Palmer Opera House, and Candy Bates will be Beulah Cottrell Phillips. So
very cool. All right, we're talking
And it-
cemetery walk right now. We are out of time, but we're going to be
it's
talking more
1,
about this.
2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3. We're going to be talking more about the cemetery
Yes,
walk
we will.
very soon. Awesome. Genealogical Society folks, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That was
We so appreciate the
Well,
radio
of course,
station letting us come in.
always a good time talking to you guys with Vice President Bono Crowder and Lori Four, librarian at the Christian County Genealogical Society. I've been Tim Zalabak here on WTIM, your information station.
Also breaking up tent encampments, arresting dozens of people.